morning, everyone. So I wanted to do a little video today about the Kelly Bluebook instant cash offer. So I'm trying to get this car up in Portland, and they offered me a really low trade-in on it, super low. What I'm asking for my trade-in is not unreasonable. It's less than the max and just a little bit more than the minimum that the car's valued at. So instead of taking their lowball offer, what I did is I am trying out this Kelly Bluebook instant cash offer. So I'm going to see if this works. They offered me $4,600 for my car, and the trade-in from the dealership wanted to give me $1,000. So pretty big difference. I was wanting $3,000 for my trade-in. So we'll see how this goes. I have an appointment here soon to get the actual at the dealership that's going to buy my car, maybe. So we'll see how close this estimate is that Kelly Bluebook gave me. This is my car though. So it's a 2014 Dodge Journey. So sent them pictures. I was really honest about its shape and how it works and runs and everything. Basically, I'm just looking for a new car. I bought this car new, had it for 10 years, only owner. So it's worth what I think it's worth. So we're gonna see how this goes and see if they really give me what they say, and I'll trade my car. So like I said, it's not all beat up. There's nothing wrong with it. Mechanically, it runs. There's nothing wrong with it. It's basically I just want a fancier car, and I've had this car for 10 years, and I want a little bit of luxury, and so that's what I'm trying to get. So
A few days later.
So here is the update of the whole Kelly Bluebook experience. So I went down to the dealership, I checked out the car. I have to make sure that you're not lying, that everything is the way you said it was, the pictures you sent in were correct. Took it down there, they test drove it, went over everything with me, made sure it was all good to go. So after they inspected it, they came back and said, hey, looks like your tires are going to need to be replaced. Looks like there's a couple nicks and scratches and stuff, so there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment to what Kelly Bluebook offered. They said the nice thing about the whole Kelly Bluebook thing is whether or not they want to keep the car, they still get paid. So all they have to do if they don't want it is they just take it to an auction where Kelly Bluebook is, and Kelly Bluebook will cut them a check for the car. So they said that no matter what, they get paid. So if they want to keep the car, they will. If they don't have to. So while I was sitting there at the desk waiting for them to input all the stuff, a couple minutes later I got an email alert. So checked the email. They made an adjustment to it. They said the tires. They said a couple other little things. So they knocked a few $100 off the quote that I originally got online. So not a bad deal. So I came back to the table. Unfortunately, with all dealerships, they try to freaking haggle. So he came back, I don't think knowing that I got an updated email, and was like, hey, this is what the offer was, but with the tires and stuff, how does 3,000 sound? And the original quote for my car was about 4,600. The email I got said like 43 something. So he's like, how about 3? And I was like, 3? And he's like, yeah, 3. We're kind of coming up with 3. And I was like, well, that's weird because I got an email that said 43 something. And he's like, you got an email? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, let me go double check with my boss. So then he goes, double checks with his boss, and then comes back with an official paper from Kelly Bluebook with the adjustments, and there was the $4,300 something price. So fortunately, still haggling with even the place you take it to do the Kelly Bluebook instant cash offer. But the crazy thing was is the dealership that I wanted to get my car from, they wanted to give me $1,000, and they wanted to give me $1,200, then they wanted to give me $2,200. And at the time, I was asking for 3. I just went off, I Kelly Bluebooked it for like trade-in value and went in the middle of the row of what it said was a fair offer. Because I'm not trying to make all my money back on my car. I used it for 10 years, so all in all, I made more money on the Kelly Bluebook deal. But the funny part, so the dealership called them up the next day and said, hey, decided I'm not going to trade in my car, and said I'm just going to put the money down, the money I was getting for the car. And they're like, well, what do you mean you sold it? And I was like, yeah, I already sold it. I was like, you guys are offering me 22. This place offered me 4, so I took the 4. And then they're like, well, why'd you do that without calling us? We would have gave you 4 for the trade-in. And I was like, well, you know what? Instead of lowballing me, The whole time it was like 1,000. Then it took 3 hours to get to 1,200. Then it took 8 hours to get to 2,200. Didn't think you guys wanted to spend that much money on the car, so I just took care of it. You told me I couldn't sell it that quickly. I sold it in like 15 hours. So all in all, if you, I guess my takeaway from the whole experience was the Kelly Bluebook thing is legit. It took me 2 business days to get my check. So it does take a little bit of time. And if the dealership's big enough, I guess, then they can probably cut it out, get you the check right then and there. But for me, it took a couple business days. No big deal. Worked around it. So the biggest takeaway is it's legit. And as long as you're legit, the offer's legit. And I guess if you're trying to trade it in and they're lowballing you, you can always do the Kelly Bluebook instant cash offer. You don't have to accept it. They give you an offer, you send in the pictures and stuff, they give you a week, and then once you take it in, you have 24 hours to accept their offer. So you can always do that, get a general idea of what Kelly Bluebook would offer you, and then use that as haggling power to trade it into the dealership. So that was my experience with it. So I wanted three. I'm not a greedy person. I used the car for 10 years, drove it. Kids grew up in it, dogs, kids, all that stuff. So I wasn't trying to make a bunch of money off of it. I just wanted to get a fair amount for the trade-in, and then get my new car. And I ended up getting more by doing the Kelly Bluebook thing. Granted, if I would have told them that before I did it, then I would have got that much on the trade-in and wouldn't have had to go through the hassle. But so just some information for you that if the dealership is giving you crap about the trade-in or not trying to give you a fair amount, do the Kelly Bluebook instant cash offer, see what's there, take it in, see what the actual offer would be, then let the dealership know, hey, you guys only want to give me this much, they'll give me that much, so I'm going to go that route, and I bet you the dealership you're trying to trade into will give you what you want anyway. So anyways, that's my experience. Hope the video helped. When I was trying to research it online, there just wasn't really, it was all dealerships' point of views, not a consumer's point of view. So hopefully this helps.